see me, and this is a collective reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. So there's a very powerful shift in the air today, and that feels like eyes are on you. And right now, the word coming through is authority. I'm also hearing that your recent wins have sent shock waves through your social circle. And yeah, let's see what other messages are coming through. Okay, so it looks to be, all right, that you start up in a position, okay, a really positive position of safety, okay? Maybe this is some sort of, I heard like lock and key sort of situation, okay? Where you're just protecting yourself, you're protecting your mindset, you're being true to who you are as an individual, okay? And a true keeper knows when to lock and when to unlock. So it feels as though you've been taking time to almost check in with yourself, okay? In terms of certain situations, certain dynamics that are serving you, aren't serving you. Okay, there's a lot of options on the board right now. Something to do with the throat chakra, okay? Something to do with your secrets should serve you, not control you, okay? There's all these options on the plate. Maybe people are trying to unravel your secrets, okay? Trying to dig into who you are as a person to gain access to information that they want, gain access to secrets that you're keeping to yourself that might potentially elevate them to a higher status, higher standard is what I'm hearing, okay? Something to do with, ooh, the cards are just like popping up today. This week is very interesting. It feels like very frantic, but you start up in a position of the Two of Cups, okay? Something to do with connections, partnerships, okay? Some sort of mutuality. You're coming into some sort of union with someone or a group of individuals, okay? And it's because you're having a lot of options come your way, all right? There's like a lot of, I heard the word diagonal for some reason, okay? The cards are kind of presenting themselves in that way. I'm hearing the word diagonal, okay? Maybe that might be I heard interest or concern. Something is happening adjacently, perhaps, okay? This might be impeding on your options or your ability to, I suppose, jump into these opportunities, jump into these selections you have here, because you kind of see that diagonally there are, I heard alley. I don't know why I'm hearing Diagon Alley for some reason. Maybe Harry Potter's of significance. Something to do with just there are things happening in the alleys, okay? Something happening in the hallways, the kind of like the corridors is what I'm hearing that are beneath, okay? Maybe a basement, maybe some sort of hallway that is kind of dark, okay? Maybe some sort of passageway that's a little hidden is what I'm hearing, okay, with those options. Because when you're presented with these options and these opportunities, the social atmosphere, okay, is in the Eight of Swords. Something to do with some sort of deception is at play. Some sort of secrets, some sort of mental traps are at bay, is what I'm hearing. Someone's trying to concoct fear in you, concoct some sort of, I don't know what it is. It feels like someone's tracking you, okay? Someone's trying to track you, maybe figure out what's happening with you, okay? It's kind of like people are hearing things. I'm hearing water cooler for some reason, okay? And it has a lot to do with some sort of missing piece related to the Empress, okay? Maybe there's some sort of authority figure, or maybe this is you stepping in or someone stepping in with some sort of creative spirit, okay? Some sort of embodiment of that creative spirit, okay? You're birthing something new. Someone is birthing something new for you in this partnership. It might be mutual in that regard, okay? Because you do have that embodiment of parenthood there, birthing something new into life. And it feels as though this high priestess energy, some sort of, I'm hearing that this could be a potential person overseeing something, but they're kind of just intuitively watching you. They're kind of trying to unravel your secrets. This might be a high authority figure, okay? This might be someone who's just kind of traversed your path, okay? It feels as though you walk some sort of path that would have broken anyone else. Something to do with your resilience, because there are some people impeding on your ability to select an option at this time is what I'm hearing, okay? Something to do with people are waiting for you to fail, okay? Something around the lines of you mastering something quietly, okay? You mastering your inner world, you mastering and preparing for some sort of upgrade in your life. And that's why you have this lock and key situation. You have this lock, could be physical, could be mental, spiritually, okay? Where you are just like, I heard clarifying, okay? Clarifying your protection. Even though you want to be in a freed state, you want to also kind of just like only grant access to the people who have your best intentions, okay? Is what I'm hearing. People who are in your social circle is what I'm hearing, okay? So with that Ace of Cups, you do come into some sort of openness, some sort of new loving relationship, okay? You are birthing new emotions into your reality, okay? It's definitely shocking people, okay? I'm hearing that you are finding your self-worth. You're finding your sense of authority again, okay? That Ace of Swords is very significant of that. Something to do with you finding truth and clarity. You're cutting through the conflict. You're cutting through all of these, I'm hearing nightmarish thoughts, things that bring you anxiety, grief, okay, burdens perhaps. And that's really bringing forth a breakthrough for you through that realization of some kinds. All right. I'm also kind of feeling as though when you or these individuals collected the receipts, it's like you cut it in half, okay? And it's like you're just, it's almost like they want to have receipts on you, but they have nothing to pull from them. So you're kind of just throwing flowers at them. It's kind of like the vibe I'm getting with that, okay? And that's allowing you to almost like make your enemies frenemies. Then they kind of just stop going after you, okay? It's because you're giving, you're being fearful, you're like almost having this sense of reciprocity of give and take. And so that really makes you look really good at this time, all right? It's almost as though like this sort of shift in your mindset is going to kind of leave them stunned, okay? It's going to be bringing forth rippling effects as you move through that frequency of authority, okay? There's like a card in here that's like upright for some reason. Oh, the Nine of Cups. I'll just put that in this position here and also have another clarifier. It didn't just pop out on its own there. But yeah, Nine of Cups is interesting to see, kind of just upright on its own there. Nine of Cups. Kind of gives me this vibe of like people are going to finally feel content with you. They try to oppose you for some time. They keep trying to track you. I'm hearing on social media, track you through your work, through your education, trying to figure out where you are, maybe tracking you through your phone, tracking your whereabouts through mutual connections is what I'm hearing too. But it's like you cut through this all the time. It's like people try to keep receipts on you, but they can't do it, okay? They can't look away either way, but they can't find the exact receipts that they need to take you down, is what I'm hearing, okay? You're moving at this frequency of speed, of light. Oh, wow, we have the Chariot. That's crazy. I was thinking the speed, some huge momentum is happening right now for you, okay? With this Cancerian energy popping up in representation of the Chariot, you're definitely in this driven state. You're taking control over things, okay? You're very actioned, you're very diligent, and you're just like pushing forward. I'm feeling like Eight of Wands energy coming through that. Oh, Eight of Wands energy. Oh, I didn't clarify this. So Three of Pentacles, Four of Swords. Interesting. So that Nine of Cups being backed up by the Three of Pentacles definitely gives that vibe of you are just collaborating and building with other people around you. And while doing so, you're throwing your flowers, you're throwing your abundance at other people because of your kindness, okay? Because of your satisfaction with your certain situation, because you have all these options available to you. You're in this sense of pleasure and also allowing others to be pleased alongside your satisfaction, your fulfillment is what I'm hearing. Interesting, fulfillment. That's like 10 of Cups vibe. So you're kind of like jumping into that or working towards that harmony is what I'm hearing. Okay? But then there's also some sort of advice towards like Four of Swords energy, where it's like take this time to rest, heal, and recover, especially from individuals who try to backstab you, who try to watch over you. Okay? It's going to be very impossible for them to ignore your growth. But this is the shocking reason why they were tracking you to begin with. They wanted to keep tabs on your growth. They wanted to keep tabs on your wins. And when they started hearing those wins, it was just leaving shockwaves in your circle and their circles and all the social circles in the hemisphere, okay? And it's like, you know, I'm almost hearing like they just want to have tabs on you, which is funny enough. They're going to be stunned, of course, of your status upgrade, but they're also going to be like wanting to like get the scoop, is what I'm hearing, okay? It's really funny. So yeah, let's check out what other things are happening in this breakthrough here. Ooh, yeah. So there's gonna be some heartbreaks. I don't know why I said breakthrough, but like the final breakthrough, because you do have your breakthrough, the chariot, you're moving forward, but your final breakthrough, okay, your winning move, your solution, you're like cutting the cords to certain relationships. I feel like people are gonna be a little heartbroken, okay? People are gonna feel as though a little bit of sorrow that they don't have access to your energy, okay? They're never going to really be able to expect this from you because they see you as this kind individual, someone who's patient, someone who's, I suppose, like very giving in the sense that you're giving of your energy. But now things are under lock and seal, and it's really hard to access this even through your mutual circle because even those individuals don't know what you have in store because they're not a part of the inner circle that you've made within this safe of yours, okay? So in the final outcome, let's see what we get here. For your energies, it's so interesting. It's like these two cards once you come through. Ooh, okay, interesting. Okay, Six of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Two of Wands. You got a lot of forward momentum, okay? Something to do with this fiery energy where you are like standing in your victory, okay? You're standing so much so in your victory that you also come out of this in this like very diligent and responsible mentality. You're going to be very routine, very committed about your options that you started off with in the beginning and the partnerships that you have aligned with that are almost like better serving for you than the ones that you're stepping away from. Okay? People are almost going to be in a mindset where they wish they had your vision. They wish that they chose you, but they didn't. And because of your potential planning towards the future, they're realizing that what you have is almost like, it kind of gives this vibe of like, you're prideful of what you have, but you're going to have reward and recognition for that, which is going to elevate you. And they wish they were on that journey with you, rather than just trying to watch you, track you, and just take tabs on you 24/7. It feels like micromanaging for some reason. It's the kind of the vibe I'm getting. But yeah, let's find out what else has going on in the undercurrents and these final outcome energies, okay? What's the scoop on that? Ooh, so you're going to be stepping into some sort of CEO energy. That came in very ferociously. Something to do with you're going to be taking control over the environment. I don't know why, I heard of some sort of entity. So this might be some sort of, I'm hearing like a corporation. There's going to be some sort of compromise being made. This might be even some mutual, I'm hearing, I don't know why, something to do with two companies coming together, merging. Some sort of acquisitions might be happening, okay? But you are standing in this sort of natural leadership mode, okay? Something to do with your confidence in business. You know you're the boss because you've worked hard towards this path of yours. Okay, you've been very patient, and your patience was required from the very beginning of your journey. Just having to trust that process and knowing when it's meant to be has guided you forth in your journey. Okay, I'm hearing also that it's like you knew what you needed to do in the very beginning to get to this sort of outcome, and you're going to continue to persevere forward, okay? I also heard onward. Ooh, we're getting status upgrade. The other reading from the other day also showcased the collective in this energy that might be of significance, but you're having some sort of new achievements pop through for you, especially with that social standing, which definitely is reminiscent of the energies that are coming through for you today. A lot of lifestyle elevation. I'm hearing new house for you, okay? For some of you, I'm hearing new car. I'm hearing new opportunities, new job opportunities, okay? New educational opportunities. Maybe you're just taking some time to jump into your education, okay? There's also going to be some two-faced individuals in the midst, so be careful of that, okay? There's going to be some sort of betrayal, which makes sense with that Three of Swords energy popping up. For some reason, I was going to say Two of Swords. So there might be some stalemates. There might be some indecisions. That makes sense with the two-faced energies. People might show one side of an agreement, but they really mean the other. So be mindful of that when you jump into some sort of business opportunities, okay? Or just something to do with partnerships overall. Yeah, something to do with someone clout chasing, wanting your attention. They're a little bit hungry for fame or just trying to almost like ride your coattails is what I heard, okay? So be mindful of that. There's just people who will do anything for a like, do anything to gain approval from others through your wins, okay? So be mindful of that as you traverse forward. Okay, let's see what other energies are popping through. So there's going to be some denial, emotional leaks, and pretenses, okay? These are individuals of the past, okay? There might be a little bit teary-eyed that they should have made moves towards you in a more positive, proactive manner. But in doing the opposite, they're putting themselves in an emotional leak, okay? There's a lot of red flags in how they present themselves. So you're going to be aware of that from the get-go. It's going to start off with some sort of rumor, like rumors, I heard. Something to do with drama, something to do with that, something to dramatization, okay? So just be mindful, okay? They might also try to win you over through attraction towards certain things. So, like, you might be attracted to certain opportunities or certain hobbies, certain actions, certain locations, certain, things. Be mindful of how people try to connect with you, especially through gifts, through social exchanges, through following your socials, things like that. Any way that they could track you or try to get into your inner circle, your inner world, just be mindful of that because they're going to be scrolling in the middle of the night, okay, going through some sort of mindless distractions, trying to figure out who you are as a person, how they can step in to that inner circle and kind of just numb you out, is what I'm hearing. So be mindful of that. Okay? It's like they think it's healing, but really it's like they're focused on you rather than themselves. So they think that it's like, oh, I can perhaps siphon collective's energy and do XYZ thing and find out everything about them. And it's like, I'll heal everything that, that I brought across, that I burdened them in the past. So it's going to come off very two-faced, you know what I mean? It's like this person, had your, I heard like, they didn't have your best interest at heart, but then they switched their method. They switched their mode up a little bit, okay, to be a little deceitful, hiding their motives, trying to heal who they are as a person in terms of how they disrupted your peace. But in actuality, they never did that healing process. So it kind of goes into that vibe of just like they're almost like, I don't know why, like hypocrisy, contradiction. Like they're a walking contradiction. They say they're healed, but in actuality, they're actually just numbing themselves out and still going about the whole tracking situation towards you, okay? So just be mindful of that. It's like really, I'm hearing almost funny energy. I don't know why. Spirit wants me to take these 3 cards. I'm going to do that, okay? Before we end here. So social battery, okay? Reading old text like a novelist and pretending to like people. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. These individuals are going to be drained by trying to track you down, trying to appease your energy, okay? You might have felt a little shut down by their energy at one point as well, but they're kind of like, this kind of feels like a relationship for some of you, but nonetheless, it does feel like individuals are being very cringy, obsessive. I definitely was hearing compulsive, okay? Going through all the different interactions that they had with you, okay? Trying to do all of these different things. So just be mindful of that, especially if they're trying to mask themselves, people please. Maybe you are walking away from some sort of people pleasing tendency. A lot of this energy could be exhausting, so definitely take that time. As mentioned with I think it was the 4 of Swords energy, to rest, heal, and recover, okay? Find your solitude and retreat from these negative frequencies so you can keep things in lock and key. Keep your peace under lock, okay? So you can traverse forward, take in that status upgrade, and kind of just remove all of these negative frequencies around you. All right, so yeah, these are all the messages that I have for you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If this reading resonated, consider sharing your support by subscribing, liking the video, leaving a comment down below. I truly appreciate it. And until next time, trust your path and let the universe work its magic.